and welcome to Native Explorer, the channel where you learn English while learning something new and useful for your life. I'm really happy to have you here with me today. Whether you are walking, relaxing at home, or taking a break from your studies, thank you for choosing to spend your time with this episode. In every episode, we help you practice your listening and speaking skills with real and helpful content. And today's topic is a very important one. It's something that can change your life. It's about how to develop patience and self-control. Let me start by asking you a simple question. Have you ever felt angry because something didn't happen fast? Have you ever done something quickly and then felt sorry later? I think we all have. Sometimes we want things to happen fast. We want to speak English fluently right now. We want to get results without waiting. But life doesn't work like that. Success takes time. Learning takes time. And that's why patience and self-control are so important. Patience means waiting without getting angry or upset. Self-control means stopping yourself from doing something wrong or unhelpful. These two skills are not only useful for life, but also for learning. Especially when you are learning English. You need to be patient with yourself. You need to keep trying. You also need self-control to keep practicing even when you feel tired or bored. When you learn these two things, you become stronger, not just in English, but in every part of life. In this episode, we will talk about what patience and self-control really mean. We will give you easy examples from real life. We will also talk about why these two skills are important and what happens when we don't have them. After that, I will share with you some easy and clear steps to help you become more patient and more in control of your actions. And don't worry, we will keep everything simple and clear so you can learn English and improve your life at the same time. This episode is made for English learners like you, especially those who want to improve their speaking and listening skills while also learning something useful. So stay with me until the end. Repeat after me if you want. Pause and play again if you need. This is your time, and this podcast is for you. Let's now begin our journey into understanding patience and self-control. Are you ready? Let's go. Now that you know what today's episode is about, let's talk more deeply about the two important skills we are focusing on: patience and self-control. These two words may sound simple, but they have a big meaning. They are powerful tools that can help you become a better person and a better learner. Let's understand them one by one using easy words and examples. First, let's talk about patience. What is patience? Patience means staying calm when things take time. It means not getting angry or upset when something doesn't happen quickly. When you are patient, you understand that some things need time. For example, learning English takes time. You don't become fluent in one day. You need to practice many times. If you get upset and stop trying after one mistake, then you are not being patient. But if you keep going even when it's hard, that is real patience. Patience is also about how you behave when something is slow. Maybe you are waiting in a long line at the supermarket. Maybe the internet is slow. Maybe your friend is late. In all these situations, you can choose how to feel. You can choose to be angry, or you can choose to be calm and wait. When you choose to stay calm, that is patience. Now, let's look at self-control. Self-control is the ability to stop yourself from doing something wrong or unhelpful. It means thinking before you act. It means not doing something just because you feel like it in the moment. For example, imagine you are studying English, but your phone rings and you see a message from a friend. You want to stop studying and chat for 1 hour, but you tell yourself, "No, I will finish my study first, then I can chat." That is self-control. Another example is when you feel angry or stressed. Maybe someone says something rude to you. You feel like shouting or fighting, but instead of reacting quickly, you take a deep breath and calm down. That is self-control, too. You stop your first reaction. You think before you act. You choose to do what is right, not just what feels good in the moment. So, Now you understand what patience and self-control mean. But here is something important to know. These two things are connected. They are like best friends. You often need both at the same time. When you are patient, you are using self-control. You are choosing not to get angry. You are choosing to wait without stress. And when you have self-control, you become more patient because you don't let your emotions control you. You control your actions and thoughts. Let me give you another example. Imagine you are in a traffic jam. You are late and the cars are not moving. You feel angry and want to honk the horn again and again. You want to shout or hit the steering wheel, but you stop yourself. You take a breath. You remind yourself that getting angry will not help. You decide to listen to music and wait. In this moment, you are using patience and self-control together. Even when learning English, these two skills help you a lot. Maybe you want to speak English well, but you make mistakes. You feel shy. You feel like giving up. But then you tell yourself, it's okay. I'm learning. I will try again. That is patience. And when you choose to continue studying every day, even when you don't feel like it, that is self-control. So, you see, these two are like two sides of the same coin. They work together to help you grow. Both patience and self-control are not things you were born with. They are things you can learn and practice. Just like you practice English, you can practice being more patient. You can practice controlling your actions and your words. The more you practice, the better you become. Think of patience and self-control like muscles in your body. If you exercise them every day, they become stronger. If you stop using them, they become weak. So don't worry if you are not very patient today. Don't worry if you lose control sometimes. What matters is that you try again. What matters is that you understand what these skills are and why they help you in life. In the next part of this episode, we will talk about why patience and self-control are so important, especially in everyday life, in your work, in your studies, and of course, in your journey to learn English. So stay with me and remember, learning something new takes time. And you are doing great just by listening and learning today. Now that we understand what patience and self-control really mean, let's talk about why they are so important in our lives. These are not just nice ideas or good habits. They are life-changing skills. When we learn to be patient and have self-control, our daily life becomes better. We make better choices. We feel more peaceful, and we build stronger relationships. Let's explore how these two skills help us in many parts of life. Let's start with daily life. Every day we face small challenges. Maybe we have to wait in line, wait for food to cook, or wait for someone to reply to a message. Maybe someone speaks to us in a rude way, or something doesn't go as planned. These small things can make us feel angry or stressed. But when we use patience, we stay calm. We don't waste our energy getting upset over things we cannot control. When we use self-control, we stop ourselves from saying or doing something that we might regret later. These two skills help us keep our peace and stay in control of our day. Now, think about learning English. It's not easy, right? You may feel frustrated when you don't understand something. You may feel nervous when you speak. But if you have patience, you know it's okay to take time. You understand that every mistake is a step forward. You don't quit when something is hard. You just try again. That's how learning happens. And when you have self-control, you make time every day to study. You say no to distractions. You stay focused. Even when you don't feel like practicing, you do it anyway. That is how real progress is made. So, patience helps your heart stay strong, and self-control helps your actions stay steady. These skills are also important in relationships with family, friends, classmates, or coworkers. People are not always perfect. Sometimes they do things that annoy us. Sometimes they say something wrong or forget something important. In these moments, patience helps us to listen and understand. We give people time. we give people space to grow. And self-control helps us speak kindly even when we feel hurt or angry. Instead of shouting, we speak with respect. Instead of walking away, we try to solve problems. This creates better relationships. It builds trust. People feel safe and happy around us. In school or at work, patience and self-control can also make a big difference. In school, you may get homework that is boring or difficult. With patience, you give your best without complaining. With self-control, you finish your work even when no one is watching. At work, maybe your boss or a coworker gives you a hard time. Maybe a project takes longer than expected. In these moments, you don't give up. You stay calm, and you keep doing your job well. These habits make you a stronger student or a better worker. People start to notice your positive attitude and your calm behavior. That can open new doors for you in the future. Let's also talk about the long-term benefits. When you develop patience and self-control, you're building something powerful for your future. You become someone who doesn't give up easily. You become someone who stays focused and calm even when life gets difficult. This is very important for long-term success. Many people give up too soon. They stop when something is hard. But those who keep going, who wait and try again, are the ones who succeed in the end. Patience gives you peace of mind. You don't feel angry all the time. You don't feel pressure to rush. You learn to enjoy the process of growth. You smile more, and you feel more relaxed. Self-control gives you strength. You are not controlled by your feelings or your habits. You are the one who chooses your actions. This gives you power. You feel more confident. You feel more free. And guess what? These two qualities, patience and self-control, also bring happiness. When you don't fight with people, when you don't regret your actions, when you feel good about your choices, you are happier. Your relationships are better. Your progress is steady. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep trying, keep growing, and stay calm. So now you can see why these two skills are so important. They help us every day. They help us become better learners, better friends, better workers, and better people. And the best part? They can be learned by anyone, including you. You don't have to be born patient. You don't need to be naturally calm. You can train your mind step by step, just like you're training your English skills, and I'm here with you on this journey. In the next part of this episode, we will talk about what happens when we don't have patience or self-control. So, stay with me. You're doing a great job just by listening, thinking, and learning. Now, let's imagine a different situation. Let's talk about what happens when we don't have patience and self-control in our lives. Sometimes we don't realize how important these skills are until something goes wrong. It's easy to think that losing patience or acting without control is not a big deal. But the truth is, when we don't practice these skills, it can hurt many parts of our life: our emotions, our goals, and our relationships. Let's start with something simple: daily situations. Imagine you are waiting in a line at the supermarket and someone cuts in front of you. If you don't have patience, you may get very angry and start shouting. That might lead to an argument or even a fight. Or let's say you're stuck in traffic, and instead of staying calm, you start honking or getting frustrated. It doesn't solve anything. It only makes you feel more stressed and tired. These reactions come from impatience, and they often make small problems worse. Now, let's talk about self-control. Imagine you are trying to eat healthy, but every time you see junk food, you say, "Just one more time," and eat it anyway. You lose control. At first, it may feel good, but later you might feel regret. You didn't follow your goal. You didn't do what you really wanted to do. The same thing can happen with your phone or social media. You want to study or work, but you keep checking your phone. Without self-control, you get distracted easily. You waste time. You feel bad at the end of the day because you didn't do what you planned. Let's also talk about learning English. If you don't have patience, you may expect to speak fluently in a few weeks. When that doesn't happen, you get upset. You might say, "English is too hard," and stop learning. You don't give yourself the time you need. You quit too early. If you don't have self-control, you may decide to study English for 30 minutes each day, but then you skip your lessons. You watch TV or scroll on your phone instead. Later, you feel disappointed. You ask, "Why am I not improving?" But the real problem is not English. It's the lack of discipline and patience to stay on track. Another area that suffers when we lack patience and self-control is our relationships. Let's say someone says something that hurts you. If you react immediately without thinking, maybe you shout or say something unkind back. You might damage a friendship or family bond in just a few seconds. But later, when your emotions are calm, you may feel sorry. This happens because you didn't control your reaction. Sometimes people lose trust in us because we act too quickly or speak too harshly. Relationships take time and care to grow. Without patience and self-control, they can easily break. Also, think about school or work. When we are impatient, we rush through tasks just to finish them. We don't take time to check our work. This leads to mistakes. Our teachers or bosses may notice that our work is not careful or complete. If we don't have self-control, we may miss deadlines, forget responsibilities, or waste time on things that are not important. Over time, this can hurt our reputation. People may not trust us with important work. We may lose opportunities just because we didn't control our time, our focus, or our behavior. Let's not forget about our emotional health. When we live without patience and self-control, we often feel more stressed. We react too fast, and then we feel regret. We try to do everything quickly, and we get frustrated when things don't go our way. This leads to anger, sadness, and even low self-esteem. You may start to think, "I'm not good enough," or "I always fail." But it's not because you can't succeed. It's because you're not giving yourself the space and time you need to grow slowly and calmly over time. The long-term results of lacking patience and self-control can be serious. You may feel like your life is out of control. You may jump from one goal to another without finishing anything. You may start many things but quit when they get hard. You may hurt the people around you with your quick words or actions. And most of all, you may stop believing in yourself. You may think that success is only for lucky people or smart people. But that's not true. Success comes to those who are steady, focused, and calm, qualities that come from patience and self-control. The good news is that it's never too late to learn. If you notice that you lose your temper quickly, or you often get distracted, or you give up too soon, that's okay. We all start somewhere. The first step is to see the problem clearly. When we understand what's going wrong, we can start to change it. And the more we practice patience and self-control, the stronger we become, just like training a muscle. So now we know what happens when these skills are missing. We face more stress, more mistakes, and more broken connections. But that's not the end of the story, because in the next part, we're going to talk about how to build these powerful habits, how to become more patient and more in control step by step. So stay tuned and get ready to take action in the next part of this podcast. Now that we understand how important patience is and what can happen when we don't have it, let's talk about how we can develop patience step by step. Yes, patience is something we can learn. It is not something that only special people have. We can all become more patient if we practice in small, simple ways every day. So, in this part of the podcast, I want to guide you through 5 easy steps that you can start using today. You don't need anything special. You only need your mind, your breath, and a little bit of effort. And remember, just like learning English, building patience takes time. The first step is to take deep breaths. This may sound too simple, but it really works. When you feel stressed, angry, or impatient, your body gets tense. Your heart beats faster. You may feel hot. Your hands may shake, or your voice may rise. This is your body reacting. But when you stop and take a few deep breaths, your body starts to calm down. Breathing deeply helps your brain to relax and gives you time to think. Try it right now. Breathe in slowly through your nose. Now, breathe out through your mouth. Do this 3 or 4 times. You will notice a small feeling of peace. This step is very helpful when you are in a difficult situation. Before you speak or do anything, pause and just breathe. It helps you stay calm and in control. The second step is to count to 10. When you feel angry, upset, or impatient, sometimes strong emotions come quickly. Maybe someone said something that hurt you. Maybe you are waiting too long for something. In those moments, it's easy to act fast and say or do something we later regret. But if you just stop and count 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10, you give yourself time. This small pause helps your brain to cool down. It gives you a moment to think clearly before reacting. You are not ignoring your feelings, but you are giving them space to settle. Even just 10 seconds can make a big difference. You may not feel fully calm, but you will feel a little better, and that can help you make better choices. Next, step 3 is to practice waiting in small situations. We don't always need to wait for big problems to work on our patience. We can start small. For example, if you are watching a video and it loads slowly, don't refresh it. Just wait. If you are at the bus stop and the bus is late, take that time to observe your surroundings or think about something positive. When you are in a long line, try not to complain. Instead, take a deep breath and use the time to relax. These are all small chances to train your patience muscle. Every time you wait without getting angry, you become stronger. You are teaching your mind to stay calm in uncomfortable situations. Over time, these small exercises build your ability to be patient in bigger, more stressful moments. The fourth step is to think before you speak or act. This is a powerful way to control both your emotions and your actions. When something happens and you feel like saying something quickly, pause and ask yourself, will this help the situation? Or is this the right time to say this? Thinking before acting helps you make better choices. For example, if someone is rude to you, instead of shouting back, you can take a moment and say, maybe they are having a bad day. Or if you make a mistake, don't panic. Instead, think, what can I learn from this? This simple habit of thinking first helps you avoid many problems. It also helps you become more respectful and thoughtful, which is great for your relationships and your personal growth. Finally, step 5 is to be kind to yourself when you fail. Yes, you will make mistakes. You will lose patience sometimes. You may get angry, say the wrong thing, or feel disappointed in yourself. That's okay. We are all human. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to grow. So when you make a mistake, don't say, I'm terrible, or I can never change. Instead, say, I had a hard moment, but I'm learning. This positive mindset helps you move forward. If you treat yourself with kindness, you are more likely to try again. And every time you try again, you are getting better. Patience is not only something we give to others, it's also something we need to give to ourselves. So let's remember these steps. First, breathe deeply to calm your mind. Then count to 10 when emotions feel too strong. Practice waiting in small moments in daily life. Think before you speak or act, and always be gentle with yourself when things don't go perfectly. These are not big or difficult actions. They are small and simple, but when you do them every day, they make a big difference. You become more calm, more focused, and more peaceful. You feel better, and people around you feel better too. Building patience is a journey, not a race. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. And just like learning English, progress takes time. But if you don't give up, you will succeed. Now that we have talked about patience, let's move to something very closely connected: self-control. Self-control means being able to manage your actions, emotions, and desires. It helps you do what is right even when you feel like doing something else. For example, you may want to sleep more in the morning, but you still get up and study. That is self-control. It's like having a small voice in your head that tells you, stop and think. Is this the best thing to do right now? Just like patience, self-control is not something you were born with. It is something you can build step by step. Let me show you how you can start building more self-control in your daily life. The first step is to set small and clear goals. Many people lose control because they are not sure what they want, or they try to do too much at one time. So instead of saying, I will change everything, start with something small. For example, I will study English for 15 minutes every morning, or I will stop checking my phone during meals. These are simple and clear goals. When your goal is small, it's easier to do. You feel successful, and that gives you energy to keep going. Also, when you know your goal, it helps your mind to focus. You can remind yourself, this is what I want. I choose this. The second step is to avoid things that make you lose control. Everyone has weak moments. Maybe you eat too much junk food when you're bored. Or maybe you play games or scroll social media instead of doing your homework. That's okay. We all have things that distract us. But if we know what they are, we can try to stay away from them. For example, if your phone distracts you, put it in another room when you study. If you eat too many sweets, don't keep them near you. This step is about creating a space where you can make better choices. When the temptation is far away, it's easier to stay in control. Next, step 3 is to practice saying no to things that are not helpful. This is not always easy. Sometimes we want to say yes because it feels good right now. Maybe your friends ask you to go out when you plan to study. Or maybe you want to watch one more video, even though it's already late. But every time you say no to something that does not help your goal, you grow stronger. Self-control is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. You don't have to say no to everything, but start with small things. Try saying, no, I will do this later, or no, I need to finish this first. You will feel proud of yourself. The fourth step is to reward yourself for staying in control. Our brain loves rewards. When we do something good and then feel happy or get something positive, our brain learns, this is good. Let's do it again. So when you stay in control, give yourself a small reward. For example, after you finish your study time, watch a short video you enjoy. Or after saying no to a bad habit, take a short walk or listen to music. These little rewards help to keep your motivation high. They also remind you that staying in control brings good things. You are training your brain to enjoy discipline and focus. The last step is to learn from mistakes, not feel bad. Yes, sometimes you will fail. You may give in to a bad habit. You may forget your goal. You may say yes when you should have said no. That's okay. Making mistakes is part of learning. Don't feel bad or say, I'm weak, or I can't change. Instead, ask yourself, what did I learn from this? And what can I do better next time? When you learn from your mistakes, they become your teachers. You grow stronger and wiser. The most important thing is not to give up. Keep trying. Keep learning. That's how real self-control is built. So, to quickly remember, here are the steps again. First, set small and clear goals. Second, avoid the things that make you lose control. Third, practice saying no to distractions. Fourth, reward yourself when you stay on track. And fifth, learn from your mistakes and don't be too hard on yourself. These steps are simple, but they work. You can use them in school, at work, at home, and even in your English learning journey. The more you use self-control, the more confident and peaceful you will feel. Always remember, building self-control takes time. Don't rush. Be patient with yourself. Every small step counts. You are not just learning English. You are also learning how to manage your life better. And that is something truly powerful. Sometimes the best way to learn something is by hearing a real story. When we hear about other people's experiences, it becomes easier to understand and remember. Let me now share two short and simple stories with you. These are about people who learned to become more patient and built self-control in their lives. These stories are easy, but they teach big lessons. The first story is about a young woman named Aisha who wanted to learn English. Aisha always dreamed of speaking English fluently. She wanted to travel, find a good job, and make international friends. But at the beginning, learning English was not easy for her. She found it difficult to understand fast speech. She also made many grammar mistakes. At first, Aisha felt frustrated and almost gave up. She thought, "Why is it so hard? Why can't I speak like others?" But one day, her teacher told her, "Learning English is like growing a tree. You water it every day, and one day it will give you fruit." From that day, Aisha decided to be more patient. She made a study plan. She started watching short English videos every day, even if she didn't understand everything. She listened to the same audio again and again to improve her understanding. She also started practicing with her classmates without feeling shy or afraid of making mistakes. At times, she wanted to stop. She felt tired or slow, but she told herself, "Be patient. Keep going." After 6 months, Aisha was surprised. She could understand much more and speak with more confidence. Her patience helped her grow step by step, and now she is helping other students learn English too. The second story is about a boy named Kevin who struggled with self-control in school. Kevin was very smart, but he had one problem. He would often speak without thinking. In class, he interrupted his teacher. At home, he argued with his parents. When he got angry, he would throw things or say rude words. One day, after a fight with his best friend, Kevin felt really sad. He realized that he was losing people he cared about. His school counselor spoke to him and said, "Kevin, strong people are not those who shout. Strong people are those who can stay calm and think before they act." Kevin decided to change. He started practicing self-control. When he felt angry, he took deep breaths. He counted slowly in his mind before answering someone. He also wrote his feelings in a notebook instead of shouting. At first, it was hard, but he didn't stop. Slowly, his friends and teachers noticed the difference. He became more respectful, more thoughtful, and more trusted by others. One day, his friend said, "Kevin, I'm really proud of how much you've changed." That moment made Kevin smile. It was not easy, but it was worth it. He learned that self-control gave him peace and better relationships. These two stories are simple, but they show something important. Patience and self-control are powerful. They are not just words. They are tools that can help you in your life. Whether you are learning English like Aisha or trying to stay calm like Kevin, these skills can guide you, protect you, and help you grow. So remember, real change takes time, effort, and practice. But if you stay patient and control your actions, you can achieve many things. Just like Aisha and Kevin, you can also become stronger, calmer, and more successful in anything you choose to do. Now that we know what patience and self-control are and how important they are, the next question is, how can we practice them every day? The good news is you don't need to wait for a big problem to start using these skills. You can begin with small, simple actions in your daily life. These small steps will make your mind stronger and help you feel more in control, more calm, and more confident. Let's talk about how you can do this. One easy way to practice patience is by waiting on purpose. Yes, waiting. For example, When you're at a bus stop or in a line at the shop, try not to check your phone right away. Just stand, take a breath, and notice what is happening around you. This small moment helps your brain learn to stay calm without needing something to distract it. It's like a mini exercise for your mind. The more you do it, the easier it gets. In the classroom, you can also practice patience by listening fully when someone else is speaking. Maybe your teacher is explaining something slowly, or a classmate is answering a question. Instead of feeling bored or trying to rush, take a deep breath and tell yourself, "It's okay. I will wait and listen." This builds respect and also teaches you to stay calm and focused. If you don't understand something right away, don't worry. Be patient with your learning process. Learning takes time. At home, self-control can be practiced when dealing with family members. For example, if your younger brother or sister is making noise while you are trying to study, you might feel angry. But instead of shouting, you can choose to stay quiet for a moment and speak calmly. You can say, "Can you please lower the volume? I need to study." This shows that you can stay in control even when things are not perfect. You are teaching yourself to respond, not react. Another helpful tip is to create short reminders for yourself. You can write small notes like "breathe first," "stay calm," or "think before speaking," and stick them on your desk, mirror, or notebook. These simple messages help you remember your goals and guide your behavior in difficult moments. Even when you feel upset, reading one of these notes can help you pause and act with patience. In public places like a train station or market, people can sometimes be rude or in a hurry. It's easy to feel stressed or angry. But here is where you can use your practice. If someone pushes you or speaks in a loud voice, try not to react quickly. Take a deep breath and walk away or respond politely. You will feel proud that you stayed calm and didn't let someone else control your emotions. This is real self-control. One more helpful habit is to check your feelings during the day. Ask yourself simple questions. Am I feeling angry right now? Why am I in a hurry? Can I wait a little longer? When you become aware of your emotions, it's easier to manage them. This daily habit builds your emotional strength and helps you act with patience and control in every situation. It's also important to practice these skills when using your phone or computer. For example, if you want to watch videos or scroll on social media for hours, try setting a timer. When the time ends, stop and do something else like reading, walking, or studying. Saying no to too much screen time is a great way to build self-control. You are training your brain to follow your goals instead of your habits. At the end of the day, remind yourself that patience and self-control are like muscles. The more you use them, the stronger they get. You don't need to be perfect. Just try a little every day. Even one moment of deep breathing, one kind reply, or one good choice helps you grow. With time, you will see a big difference in how you feel, how you speak, and how you handle problems. So, keep practicing. Whether you are at home, in school, or outside, you always have a chance to stay calm, wait with peace, and choose the right action. These small habits will bring big results in your life, your learning, and your relationships. We've come to the end of today's episode, and I want to thank you for staying with me till now. It means a lot. Before we say goodbye, let's take a moment to go over what we've learned today. We talked about two very important life skills: patience and self-control. These are not just big words. They are powerful habits that can change the way we live, the way we learn, and the way we connect with others. We started by understanding what patience really means. Patience is not just about waiting. It's about staying calm while we wait, without getting angry or upset. Then we talked about self-control. This means choosing how to act even when we feel strong emotions like anger, stress, or excitement. It's like being the driver of our mind. We don't let our feelings control us. We choose our own direction. We saw how these two habits are connected. If you have patience, it becomes easier to stay in control. And if you have self-control, you naturally become more patient. They support each other like good friends. We also looked at how these habits help us in many areas of life: in learning English, in school, at work, in relationships, and in our own personal growth. They help us stay calm, focused, and strong when things are hard. Then we discussed what happens when we don't have these skills. We saw that without patience and self-control, life can become stressful. We can make more mistakes, hurt our relationships, or feel unhappy. But the good news is we can all learn these skills. No one is born with perfect patience or perfect control. We grow them step by step, one day at a time. We talked about simple steps to develop patience, like taking deep breaths, counting to 10, waiting in small situations, and thinking before speaking. We also shared steps to build self-control, such as setting small goals, avoiding triggers, practicing saying no, and learning from mistakes. All of these steps are easy to try in your daily life. Then we heard real stories of people just like you who are learning to be more patient and in control. Their stories showed us that it's possible to change, even when it feels hard at first. And finally, we explored easy tips to practice these skills every day, in class, at home, or in public. Whether it's breathing, listening, or just being kind to yourself, each small action helps you grow stronger. Now, I want to tell you something very important. Don't worry if it takes time. Real change doesn't happen in one day. It happens slowly. Some days you will feel strong, and other days you might lose your patience or feel out of control, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep trying. You are not alone. Everyone goes through this journey. I also want to encourage you to practice speaking using what you learned today. You can listen to this podcast again and repeat after me. Try saying the steps, the examples, or even the stories out loud. This will help you improve your English speaking, listening, and thinking skills while learning something meaningful. Don't just listen. Talk with me. Speak slowly, clearly, and with confidence. You are doing great. Before we close, I want to say a big thank you. Thank you for listening, for spending your time with me, and for wanting to grow. You are amazing for taking this step toward becoming better, not just in English, but as a person. I appreciate your support so much. Every time you play this podcast, share it, or speak along with it, you are helping yourself and helping others too. If you enjoyed today's episode, I invite you to listen to the next one. We have many more helpful topics coming soon about personal growth, motivation, and of course, learning English the smart and simple way. So stay with me on Native Explorer, where we learn to improve our language and life together, one small step at a time. Keep going, keep learning, and always remember, you're stronger than you think. Until next time, stay patient, stay kind, and keep exploring your English.